Okay, congratulations, you've made it to the fourth principle of this survey. Hopefully you've understood everything up to this point. So this is the last video explaining the survey and all the different categories that you're answering questions for. So the last factor that we're going to talk about is the E factor. Okay, in engineering terms, this is the modulus of elasticity. It's the measurement of how stiff a material is. So for example, steel has a modulus of elasticity of like 30 of 29 times 10 to the 6th power psi. Aluminum has about a third of that, 10 times 10 to the 6th psi. Okay, rubber, a lot less stiff, so it's within the thousands of psi. Okay, and later on I'm going to create a type of a personality profile where you can take a test and you can determine what material you are, at least at that moment. And that's super important because all the equations and all the algorithms that I'll be writing from here on out to help you with your mental fitness and engineering your life, which are all based in engineering, will depend on this modulus of elasticity, this E factor. And so the E factor is super important. It has a very high influence on how you are going to manage your life and navigate through many of the experiences you're going to have. So the E factor, the stiffness factor. And what it is it quantifies how resolved or stiff you are in keeping your commitments. Okay, are you somebody who will just go along with everybody else? Well, you'll have a very low E factor. Okay, you're very flexible, and it's not bad being flexible. I'll talk about where it's actually better to be flexible in certain circumstances. In this case, in the buckling case, in the mental stability case, you want to have a high resolve. You want to be committed. Okay, the more committed you are, the more you're able to withstand the stresses of life. Get it? Okay. So let's dive into these. These aren't yes or no questions. These are more where you quantify. And I know this lends to a lot of ambiguity, but that's where we're at, right? It's too bad we're not all just engineering materials. But we're doing our best here. So first question is, on a scale from 1 to 10, how well have you kept your social, financial, and personal commitments today? So number 1 is on the low end, is not at all, and number 10 is I've kept them all. And you can either go to either extreme, or you can say, well, there were a few I didn't do too well at. I told somebody I'd be there and I was 15 minutes late. I was committed to maybe doing some of these survey questions and I just forgot. The cool thing is I'm writing a lot of equations which will pull in that data and help quantify E for you. So I am relying on your rating from 1 to 10, but I am also looking at the facts of back in history, back 10 days, 14 days, whatever. Unfortunately, this is only 2 weeks, so I can only go so far back. But as you gain more data, I can better determine how stiff you are, what your material is. Okay? So that was for today, your commitments. The next question is about for tomorrow. So this is projecting in the future. How committed are you to redeeming yourself to those people? And how committed are you to doing, keeping with your commitments? Okay? The next question is, you'll ask this in the morning, how confident are you in your abilities to handle the responsibilities, situations, and stress today will bring? So you ask yourself that in the morning. It's kind of a setup question. Okay, it's an evaluation from 1 to 10, how confident you are in having today be good and you able to address all the issues that come up. So 1, you're already buckled, you're in bed, I can't handle anymore. So you want to put 1 if that's how you feel. 10, if you're all about just bring it on, I want more, I can handle more, I want to experience new things. If that's where you're at, put 10. If you're somewhere in the middle, obviously put 5 or 6. Okay, and this number is super important. Okay, this is the one question or quantification that, that will be apart from all of the others. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to use your input here to calibrate my algorithm. Because if your mood or your confidence level is extremely low, but I'm showing a very high buckling capability or stability of mind, obviously my equations are having some issues. So again, this is kind of like a pseudoscience, okay? It's very young. I'm trying to innovate a new way to come up with an accountability app that you can use, and you can judge and look back in history and see how strong you are. And it can project into the future of meeting certain stressful situations. Okay, so you're going to repeat that question at night, and it says, how confident are you in your ability to handle the responsibilities, situations, and stress tomorrow may bring? And again, if you're just completely exhausted and you can't handle anymore, you'll put 1. If you're like, I did awesome today, I'm ready for more tomorrow, you'll put 10. And then if the answer is somewhere in the middle. So I would like to thank you for taking part in this survey and watching these videos and understanding maybe a little bit more of the background and the drive behind each of my questions. By doing this, by understanding it, I hope to get better, I guess, evaluation, better survey results back, so I can really hone in on a tool that can help people live a balanced life, live an engineered life even. Now there's going to be further equations and possible apps. This is kind of my pilot version. I want to see how well it goes. If you have friends or family who you think would be excited to take this assessment, I would love to have them participate as well. I can crunch the data pretty fast, and the more data I have, the better the app will be. And if it turns out that it works fantastic, we'll go to the next level. But we're just kind of starting baby steps here. I've asked some of my most dearest of friends to participate, so if you're watching this, you're one of them. Thank you, and good luck next 2 weeks.